Hey everyone, it's Matt, and it has been a minute since my last video, but I did want to talk about the Fallout 4 storage space increase. It did happen, and I was restoring my list and thought I'd make that into a video, but then I also wanted to show like some of the first mods that I have installed since the update. If you get some value out of this video or enjoy it, leave a like down below. Let me know what your first mod was after the update happened and that actually pushed you above that previous limit. With all that out of the way, let's get right into it. In that last video I made, I went over how to save your lists using the save load order feature in game. Since I did that, I just went back to the creations menu when I loaded up Fallout 4 and I went to the load order archive. Since I had saved my list before the update happened, it was there and everything started downloading. But I only had 54 mods and some things were out of order. I can definitely see that not working as well if you had more mods than that, but I was always kind of on the low end. I didn't really add a ton of mods to my game. It was just like bigger mods that I would add in, so that would take up a lot of space. So I pulled up the copy of my list that I saved on the Xbox, the recording, put it on my iPad, and then had it right next to my monitor, and then I just started rearranging things, and there weren't a ton of mods that were out of order, but it took me a little under 20 minutes just to do all that. This next part is a bit of a recap if you're coming back to the game after a while. Once you have your list in order, I'd go ahead and back out to the main menu so everything reloads, but then you can actually jump back into creations. Then you want to check your Creation Club content. Now you can go down to the Creation Club section in Creations and go ahead and view all and then install any of the things that you were using. You can do this if you had individual mods that were actually activated in your game, but maybe didn't use everything. In my case, I actually used all of the Creation Club content, so I can just open the menu and then go to download all own Creation Club creations, and that'll just start the process of installing all of those. I will say a lot of the stuff in the Creation Club bundle, there's a lot of cosmetic things, as I mentioned in previous videos, that if you're not all inclined to use that stuff, then you probably wouldn't need to install it. I think if you were to install certain things individually, it'd probably be okay, but if you had like any quest items or anything like that from the newer stuff, I could see it being an issue if you did it that way. As best practice, you'd want to install Creation Club stuff after all of your mods, and that was due to sometimes mods becoming larger because of unpacking, but I guess you don't need to do that anymore. Regardless if you bought that Creation Club pack or not, everybody does have free Creation Club content. That is like the Enclave stuff that was actually introduced in the next gen patch. I think this trips a lot of people up, but when you back out to the main menu, it will reload your list. However, after doing a bunch of stuff like that, you do want to close out of the game and then reload it. Now, if you did everything correctly, you should be able to just jump right back into your save. In my case, I did rearrange a few more things. Since I did that, the game wants to stop me here and say, whoa, did you want to load that one on your save, or did you want to load this current one? In pretty much all cases, you're going to want to select current here, because if you hit save, it's going to try to load the load order that was on your last save, and that sounds good in theory, but it's actually just going to mess up everything you just did and rearrange a bunch of mods in your list. Hopefully that was helpful going through all of that, but now let's take a look at some of the mods that I'm actually starting to add to my list. So this current list that I was using is kind of bare bones. It still looks great and plays well, but now that we have plenty of room for activities, it's time to switch it up. The weather mod that I was using in this particular list was 76 Weathers, which we've looked at here on the channel before. I paired that with Clarity and Interiors Enhanced to make those interiors just look that much better. But to switch it up, I've seen a lot of talk about Deadlights, so I wanted to try that out. This mod is actually split up into two different parts. Another cool thing with this one is that it is available on PlayStation as well. I always really liked Interiors Enhanced 2.0, and by the look here in the Super Duper Mart by Lexington, it's eerie, dark, not far from where vanilla was. You can see, but not at the expense of losing some of those interior effects. When using Deadlights interiors, it takes away a lot of the lighting sources in some of these areas and incorporates a lot more of like what's in Clarity, like removing that bloom and interior fog. Makes everything a lot more clear and easy to see, but if it's dark outside, you're probably not going to see very well indoors. The Museum of Freedom is an interesting case because it's actually open but also closed off, but the different rooms have lighting in them. Pairing it with Deadlight exteriors, that is everything that's going on outside. So more weathers, better shadows, better sunsets, sunrises, that sort of thing. You get that nice cooler color when it's rainy outside, kind of dreary, and this was around 10 a.m. in the morning. But you still will get that cotton candy sky around dusk. There's a lot here to look at, no pun intended, so I'm going to keep messing around with this one, and it may pop up in my load order, but I'll be sure to go over a little bit more in there if I do. Might go without saying, but if you use Deadlights, don't use that with any other lighting mods or weather mods. But since this is split up into two different mods, you could use like interiors if you wanted to use another weather mod, or exterior Deadlights with an interior lighting mod of your choice. There's a lot of mods that do this type of thing already, so I'm interested to see what this one brings to the table versus all the other ones that I've looked at here on the channel. In the interim list that I was using 76 weathers. There's so many good lighting and weather mods, but let me know in the comments if you've used Deadlights before. Next up, I've added some mods back into this list that were previously taken down and re-uploaded. Better Rubble, Dilapidated Roads, and Gritty Subway Stations by Spifferiino. These did shoot up to the top of my list, probably because of the way they are labeled, like they might be master files, so they might just push all the way up to your list, no matter if you move them or not. Didn't seem to cause any issues for me, but just wanted to mention that. The last kind of initial mod that I added was this umbrella Wetwork outfit. A lot of you guys have actually asked about this one. Funny enough, that was actually featured in a video I made about lighting mods. So if you want to go check that out, you can. But I thought I would include that in this video. It actually requires another mod to be able to work. So you need the Resident Evil the Commander mod to be installed first, and then this one, and then you can just craft this armor at the chem bench. The Wetworks one is the one you've seen, and this is the Commander version. One last thing I wanted to mention before this video gets too long is that I am looking at new greenery mods to actually add to the game, so like trees and grass. The main concern is performance, but I did add the Some Trees mod back into the list. And that is going to do it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate y'all sticking around and seeing if I'm going to upload a video. Life happens sometimes, and you know, so it goes. But we do have some mods to check out. So that is what I'm going to be doing here for Fallout 4 and kind of create more of a list to actually share with you all. That is going to do it for me. Thank you so much for watching once again, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye.